Mic check. A, 2 letters, 1 word, the meaning of life. Yeah. How we doing? Previously on Kimba TV. So, one, I didn't take this long yesterday, if you remember. Two, I already gave this as a resistance in the Discord. So this was already kind of planned out. I mean, I'm the captain of Kimba Airlines, and so for it to pixel perfect back to 7.5, I thought about taking a long there, but I just wanted to relax, so I didn't. But that's a great place to get back into a long. Alright, exo. Let me just refresh this to make sure it's all live data. Alright. Got this. We got CME. Ooh, how we doing? Kachuya! Okay, so we want to look for a sweep of that. Okay. And then let's see. We would include this candle. Go. Okay, so that's perfect. So, and then that's the 7.5, right? Okay, that's pretty cool. So, if you get structural edge on a swing fail, short there. We good? So, you definitely don't want to try a short anywhere in between the point of control and value area high. I think I saw it like a, okay, so short. So you have a positive delta of 4.2 mil and you have a negative of 11 mil. Okay. I think it's easy enough. Okay, yeah. Pretty straightforward. Yes. Shout outs to people that long the SFP of the that low back in, value area low long. I mean, if you took that long, that's Gucci too. Obviously, no shorts all the way up until value area high. Yeah. So that's easy. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some altcoin setups in for the VIPs too. So I got to take a look at some altcoins as well.
Latoon shape motherfucker, the Mac is the
yeah,
now.
That's it. Pretty straightforward. Sounds good. So we have our Bitcoin plan. Easy enough, right? 30 seconds. Done. Just like that. Let's see. Is there anything else I'm missing? Let's take a look at this. Let's go to all. We'll let this load up. And is there a setup on this that I like? Okay, nice. Blink John says you also have CME gaps to look at. For the, we talked about this last week, but for today and tomorrow, probably not. I mean, you could. I'm sure there's like a gap plays, but the volume on CME is so low. Most, you know, I'm sure some people are back in the office and sitting in front of their desks to trade, but yeah, like even CME, you would probably want to see if that can get cleaned. So same thing basically. Yeah, you had a bullish gap, so that just kind of, you wouldn't want to necessarily long there. Hopefully you were already in a long on, this is the easiest long right there, the SFP. This is a little bit trickier. So if it was me, I probably would have taken that, but not this. And then if you were in that long right there, then that gap kind of gives you the confluence. So that's really about it. But the volume is so low on CME, so yeah. Probably we'll look at this on the 6th, maybe even tomorrow, but today is not too crazy. You got single prints coming up on the downside right here, and the VWAP as well. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Tigran says, but SFP was bad low. Nope, it looks good. Talking about that? Yeah, that's really good, you know, and like it hit value area low. So, oh, that's a really good, that's Gucci. It just kind of depends on what time frame you're looking at. But yeah, that's a nice swing fail pattern right there, boy. Yeah, it's just bing bong ding dong, remember? Stop the music, Robinachi, you know what my plan is, right? Where I might look to long and where I might look to short. And that's just like today's day-to-day smaller time frame shit, right? Staberi says lower low, just nuke it to 55. What the 5,500 on S&P, or are you talking about 55K on Bitcoin? Because comments like that are going to make me bullish. Oh, BTC dominance. I see you. Lukey says, did you see that in Switzerland we will vote for the Swiss Nation Bank to buy BTC for reserve? Yeah, I think every country is going through that. Texas just did it. Florida is going to have one. Obviously, the U.S. government's been talking about doing shit like that. So, yeah, that would be extremely bullish. I think we're still a little... I think we're like 5, 6, 7, 8 years still out, but that would be dope if it happens. But I doubt it, just because like politicians are slow as fuck. So I think it's great that the votes, at least the initiating votes, are starting to be held, but probably not going to pass, because it's like it would be borderline reckless. Well, you never know, but do you guys know like the story about like Enron and like unregulated, like what can happen when trading and that whole like the markets become like loosely regulated, and how really smart motherfuckers will really like come up with some of the most brilliant shit to like make hella money. And that make hella money usually means, you know, it's getting reallocated from somebody else. And it's such a disproportionately profitable trade that, you know, they're juicing, but everybody else is getting wrecked type of shit. But yeah, so like, I don't know if they do, if any country passes like a Bitcoin reserve thing, without like proper regulatory compliance, man, so it's gonna, I mean, we just have to be aware of that. Obviously we're not gonna get got, and maybe we're trying to juice the fuck up on stuff like that. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is that could lead to the bullish top being at the end of this year or beginning of next year. Like, if they actually pass that shit soon, if any country does, especially like an influential country like the United States, that's almost like marking the top for me. Like, so many retail motherfuckers are gonna get got. Below 382 before closing, and if I'm away, I set limits between 38205. Any insights you might be able to give on that? I think that's perfect, Iruzi. Now, it's your what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna have to adapt and evolve. That's basic strategy, right, Iruzi? So what you need to do and what I do is I'll look at, is it an altcoin? Is it gold? And when what time frame are you, when you're pulling the 382 to the 05 fib, right? The fib that gives you those levels, what is the range? Because if you're on the 4 hour and it's a much larger range, then waiting for a 30-minute is not technically correct in terms of the time frame. So if you are the time frame in which you're gonna wait for the 382 level to get lost is correlated to the time frame that you're pulling the fib from. So just remember that. And it depends on if it's an altcoin, and also things like where is the VWAP, for example, remember, I like to prioritize volume-based levels, then TPO-based levels, and then mathematical levels third. So if there's a VWAP or a value area high or a point of control or a value area low that would match up with the 382 or the 05, that is also going to dictate how long I wait for and how much I shave, what percentage of it I shave. So just remember that. The 382 is a basic, because the concept is when it's at the 382, you've already lost close to 48%, right? Let's say, for example, that you were in a long from down here and that was it's pulling back. You've already lost 40% of your unrealized profits from the very top. And so it's more of a mathematical thing to say, hey, let's start to, maximize profits. That's enough, basically. So if there's a VWAP that's higher, maybe you should think about closing it before. If there is a VWAP or a value area high that it's breaking out and it might be trying to do a bullish retest, you can think about trying to hold it, beyond or below the golden pocket, for example, because you're hoping that it does a value area low retest and you can get a higher high. So I think you always want to use more than just mathematical levels if you can. Sounds good? Good question. Bugatti money. But it's up to you, brother. That's how I would adapt and evolve and try to, figure out beyond that. Stop the music. Rio Johnson says, I got a question, brother. Okay, so we said we shouldn't short between point of control and value area high. Yeah, that's just by the book. It's not, it depends on the articulation of it, okay? So if you have value area low, point of control, and value area high, basic strategy when it comes to value levels is you want to short the deviations and long the deviations. Okay? So it's bing bong ding dong until that point. So if you're finding support at value area low, then the easy trade is you want to look for longs until you get to the value area high. If you want to look for a short, you want to try to be patient and wait until the value area high deviation, and vice versa. And you can apply this concept on any sort of time frame. I happen to be on the 4 hour because I'm looking at the holiday bing bong ding dong, if you will. Like I said, January 6th is maybe when we start to look at the range being left behind, right? That's when there's a lot of volume. People are going to start making bets for FOMC, yada, yada, yada. You can see it on CME. You can see it on S&P, and so forth and so forth. So we already kind of planned out, hey, this is still kind of holiday sort of hangover trading. And so, it's going to be bing bong ding dong. All of the retail longers, all the retail shorters are going to get punished. Right? That's still the narrative that we're going with. So that's why we've marked out SFP levels. All right. But how do you read what just happened and what would you use to pivot the thought to enter a short here? No, I mean, nothing has really changed. I think some people are going to be like, for me, we're still in golden pocket. I would look at it like this. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything has really changed. Yeah, I don't think I'm still waiting to see if that high gets cleaned. And just, keeping an eye on S&P, because we already know that S&P confluence is the most important thing, and just, I guess, being patient. For me, nothing has changed. So when you say, how do you read what just happened? Nothing has changed for me. This is like kind of normal. Yeah, I mean, these are 5-minute candles, so I don't want you to like get too carried away. Yeah, I mean, for me, it hasn't even hit another fib level. Like, it's just bing bong ding donging between golden pocket, basically. So I'm still waiting to see if we get a sweep of that. I'm going to continue to monitor S&P to see if anything crazy happens. So yeah, level to level. For me, nothing has changed. I'm still waiting to see if it SFP's up there, and if it does come back down to where the anchored VWAP in the golden pocket, and if it confluences with 5840 on S&P, I would think about longing, especially because there's a high that's unleft. There's a high that hasn't been tapped. Alrighty. If I'm looking at this and I see that there's highs being left up there, like I said, I would be, if it does come back down like that, golden pocket, and then the anchor VWAP, I would probably take that long. So nothing has changed since the morning. Does that answer your question? Gamma School says, Kimba, what are the odds for this young soon to actually juice? Stop the music. At this point, there's really no odds, okay? If the CME Bitcoin volume was a little bit higher, I would probably say it's higher probability he gets stopped out first. But it's, if like S&P just continues to just nuke right here without Bitcoin having the opportunity to, then, get maybe to like the 7.5 and stop that fucker out, then I would just be looking for the VWAP and the golden pocket pullback, or even like a higher low to continue to be made until that gets grabbed when I think about taking a short up there. Yeah. Every time that I see this, I will wait until he gets stopped out before I get into a short. So, it is what it is. If you don't want to wait for that, and if you rather just make it simple, you can always do the the Kimba box. You can always do this. Like stop loss type of shit, like here type of shit. You can always just simplify it and do that if you don't want to. If you want to make it a little bit easier on yourself. Yeah, and that's just me too. If this was a little bit green, then I would certainly be a little bit more aggressive with a lot. But let's clean that hoe up a little bit one more time. Yeah, but we don't want to spend too much time either, so. Yup. All right, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Let's lock in. 15 minutes and change on the 30-minute candle close. How you guys doing? Happy Thursday, Happy New Year's, Happy 2025, Lions. I don't want anybody to get like too hyper focused on a potential day-to-day scalp. Okay, so I think it's amazing to be able to kind of see the different ways that you can execute this stuff. And it's really like a whole cycle you got to see. The planning, the preparation, the anticipation, and the execution on a scalp short, the first one, whether it was failed auction, losing the golden pocket, structural loss, whatever. Some of y'all still waiting for the high to get cleaned up and the underwater shorts to get squeezed. Still waiting for Fibonacci 7.5 to get tapped. Some of y'all took the VWAP long. Congratulations. Lots of opportunities there. Bing bong ding dong. It's Gucci Magucci, if I may say so myself. The highs are looking not that great. So we move the SFP up there. We're going to see if the derivative 7.5s get hit. We're still going to see if Young Soon gets stopped out. And by Young Soon, I'm talking about the 40 plus million and Well, now it's like 22 million or 18 million, give or take, but still underwater shorts. Yeah. And we'll just take it bit by bit. And as soon as we can, I mean, how funny would it be if the single prints get cleaned out? It grabs, the 7.5 or 7.86 or whatever. Maybe even all the way up to 98.4. Hard to tell, but it gets them all, and then it breaks that support line. So, we're going to see what it do. So, and seeing different variations and combinations of this every single day, you're going to start to be able to formulate like what you would consider an edge, what you can prioritize, and regardless of how aggressive you wanted to be, if you kind of were able to follow along on the math, and I think you were here since the beginning, but you can see how it's important to be thinking worst case scenario. You can, because longers could have gotten round tripped on that dump, right? Shorters could have gotten round tripped on this pump back after that failed auction structure instead of it doing a bearish retest, for example, on the floor. All that shit, So, and the trifecta would be to still get structure, still get a swing fail like on 4 hour, clean out open interest. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, we don't know when these guys are going to stop out. And until then, there's nothing to be had. But things like that's not finished on CME. And we have 36 minutes. We have 5 minutes and change on the 30-minute candle. So that would be really interesting if it happens in the next 5 minute, right? Because then you would have the actual swing fail right at candle close, which would make it easier to confirm because the first one already did it and it just happened right now. But it's going to do some funky shit. It's going to try to trap, both ways if it's going to do whatever. And the longer that you spend in the gap, that it's going to try to close to the other side. You also have naked point of control for TPO right at the RTH gap. So it is what it is. All right. But we'll keep an eye on everything, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? Happy Thursday, Juicy Maguchi. Lions! Hands up if you're going to be here bright and early tomorrow. Can we do last minute TA? Sure. Nothing has really changed. What I would do is rewind when we talked about this. I don't know if anybody has a clip. It's taking a little bit longer than we would want, but that's okay because the volume is low today other than on CME. So I think we did a pretty good job of identifying levels, Bugammas, stuff like that. Oddly enough, as we come back to break even levels, these guys are closing out. So about 6 million left. All right, this is the trend line that we said we would keep an eye on. So it pixel fucked the point of control. It's pixel fucking this trend line again. So the next thing you would basically be doing is how would you play a gap if there is one, and how you would maybe wait until VWAP on whether you want a long or short. So yeah, it was nice. So basically, the high is still good. So the difference is that was not good. It cleaned. First one arrives, second one sweeps, and then the third one. So you've got structure now. So it's a good high. Structure is there. So if you're in a short, that's awesome. Yeah, and then there really isn't many more shorts to really squeeze out. And then you've got a bunch of top longing kind of. Yeah, so I mean, I think you're still either looking for a bearish retest or maybe you got the failed auction. It's fibbing right now, as you guys can see. Nothing too crazy. And then do you guys kind of remember what we said about if this is a 7-5 hit, like where would be some levels where if you are in a short, you would be looking at to maybe protect. So whether it's that golden pocket or even more statistically, if you're looking at that 0.5, for example, those would all be, valid TPs. I think you've got 2 anchor points for anchor VWAP, just like we did in the morning. from swing high, swing low, golden pocket pullback or 7.5 might be interessante. So that level hasn't changed. It just moved up a little bit higher, but that hasn't really changed. VWAP also right there as well. So whether it's 0.5 or golden pocket, if you are in a short already, you'll be wanting to protect at any of these levels. But now I don't know if I would be looking to really long this. I would want to see like 90 cleaned. Wouldn't that be nice? A little 97.7 to like a 90.7, like a $7,000 rotate would be kind of interesting. Maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, you gotta protect your short if you get down to these levels. Wherever the VWAP ends up being, and then obviously point of control if you're going to be playing more of a value play. I'll post more shit in the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. Exclamation VIP. Saddest part of the day, but you know what? I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. What do you guys think about a juice-a-thon, aka stream-a-thon next week? I'll be here bright and early tomorrow. Let's do it again tomorrow, y'all. CME is coming back online in 5 minutes. So hopefully everybody kind of thought about what kind of gap play, VWAP, sweeps, Fibonacci's, open interest, S&P coming back. S&P in its own little thing. Have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early. I bereave. Exclamation, I bereave. I bereave.